What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So, this is something that definitely relates to me. I saw this article on FadeAwayWorld.net, and in light of the near tragedy that occurred with Bronny James going into cardiac arrest the other day, there are different articles on here talking about different players or athletes that have had heart problems, some much more serious than others. I saw an article touch on the Reggie Lewis situation. I didn't want to talk about that. But I do want to talk about this, Larry Bird. And I can relate to this because I have had issues myself with the same condition that Larry Bird has, and that's atrial fibrillation, AFib. I don't think mine is as severe as Larry Bird's, but I have had issues with AFib ever since I was, at least from when I noticed it, 10 years old. But it was so rare. It didn't happen often. I would say I had a situation with AFib maybe like at the time once every 3 or 4 months that I can remember. But as I've gotten older, it happens more frequently. And it also happens more often whenever I'm stressed, or, and to be honest with you, when I'm heavier than other times. I've had a tendency to put on some weight at times, which I had to lose. But Larry Bird's atrial fibrillation I think, is a lot more severe than mine because his has to be controlled with medication, and it was diagnosed after his playing career. So the article goes, Larry Bird retired from the NBA in 1992. In 1997, he accepted the job of coaching the Pacers. He did a phenomenal job with the team in his rookie year, going 58-24 and playing the Bulls to a standstill in the Eastern Conference Finals. But during that season, in a March 17th, 1998 game versus the Bulls, I remember this game, I believe it came on NBC, Larry Bird almost passed out. The reason? Well, Bird suffered from a heart condition, and still suffers from a heart condition called atrial fibrillation. It causes irregular heart rhythms in a person. Bird described his experience on the sidelines to Sports Illustrated. I always knew there was something funny about my heart. I got a little scared because it didn't seem like it was going away. Yeah, because Bird had mentioned that when he played, there were times when his heart would sometimes skip a beat or it's an extra beat. That's normal for your heart to have an extra beat in there, or maybe it's like it skip a beat. But his heart would be pounding sometimes, right? Or it would beat really erratically for a period of time and then go back to his normal rhythm. But I think it got worse after he stopped playing basketball. So he had to be on medication. After admitting to not taking his medication to keep his medical condition in check, Bird explained the events of the late season matchup versus the Bulls in 1998. I was standing on the sideline and hoping for a television timeout because I felt like I was going to pass out. Finally, the refs whistled time. Whenever we have a timeout, they always put a chair on the court for me so I could sit down and talk to the guys. This time I fell into that chair because I was going out. The Pacers lost the game 84-90 versus the Bulls. As for Bird, the abundant sweating was a result of the tense environment in the game. Fortunately, the feeling passed when the game ended. Bird won the NBA's Coach of the Year award for his work with the Pacers during that season. And as I said before, the Pacers reached the finals, the conference finals in 1998, but ultimately they lost in 7 games. But they were the biggest test to the Bulls dynasty, in my opinion. But yeah, I remember that moment when Larry Bird fell ill, because you could clearly see, if I remember correctly, he was flushed. You could see he was sweating, he was flushed, and he didn't seem himself. So, as a matter of fact, I almost want to say, for a couple of minutes, he may have even ceded coaching duties to one of his assistants. It's been so long ago since I remember seeing that game. But anyway, yeah, I know sometimes when people, they take certain medications, it can give you like a foggy feeling. It can, sometimes some people don't like the feeling that a medication can give them, but it's the reason why you're taking it, because you're taking it to control the condition. So you stop taking it because you gotten used to the condition being controlled. So you think, well, I don't like the way this medication is slowing me down. I don't like the way it's making me a little foggy. And that's what happened at a flare-up. But atrial fibrillation is not nearly as serious as what Hank Gathers had. If I remember correctly, Hank Gathers had a cardiomyopathy, and he was taking medication to try to control it, and he stopped taking it, and we saw what happened with Hank Gathers. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Tell me what you guys think.